Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, Mystery Recap. In today's video, we're gonna recap a 2013 sci-fi movie named The Purge. So stick with us till the end. At the start of the movie, we see several clips of people killing and beating each other and burning down houses. Hundreds of people died in a lot of shootouts and gang fights. In the US in 2014, both the Republican and Democratic parties had failed. A third political party called the New Founding Fathers of America was formed when the economy went bad. Bracken, who is the US president, is in charge of the party. He and other people in his party came up with a very strict law called the Purge. Once a year, for one night and 12 hours, all crimes are legal and there are no emergency services. People are free to get rid of their fears in any way they want, even by killing. The year is now 2022. Because of the Purge, there is almost no crime in the United States anymore, and unemployment has dropped to 1%. The day of the Purge has come. James Sanding drives back to his gated home in a wealthy neighborhood at night so he can be safe. He sees that his neighbors are showing their support for the purging system by putting blue flowers in their front yards. James also has a blue flower, which could mean that he agrees with the Purge. James wants to spend the night with his wife Mary and their two kids, Zoe and Charlie, locked inside. Zoe and her boyfriend Henry are in her room. James doesn't like them being together, so Henry leaves the house without telling him. As Henry sneaks out, he and his friend see a neighbor getting a weapon ready for tonight. As Mary puts the flowers in their yard, their annoying neighbor, Grace Farron, comes up to her with some cookies. They talk about how the lockdown will start in an hour, and then they go their separate ways. Charlie, James's son, is then seen playing with Timmy, a creepy robot that he got as a gift. Later that night, after a happy dinner together, the family heads to their study room to get ready for the Purge. First, James turns on all of the cameras that are set up around the house. Then he turns on the security system, which closes all the metal doors and windows and any other openings in the house. Finally, he gets a gun out of the safe to protect himself. The family then sits down in front of the TV to watch the official start of the Purge. It is said that the Purge is now in full swing. Now, you can own weapons of Class 4 or lower. All other weapons, though, are banned. Government officials with a rank of 10 or higher are saved from the Purge, so it is still against the law to attack them. After a siren goes off, anyone can commit any crime, even murder, for 12 hours straight. There won't be any police, fire, or medical services available in case of an emergency. As soon as the broadcast is over, the siren starts to sound, which means that the Purge has begun. James tells his kid that they will be fine because they can pay for protection. Zoe goes back to her room after that. Charlie, on the other hand, doesn't seem to like the idea of the Purge, but James tries to explain it to him by saying that it lets people get out their anger. Then he goes to his room too. Zoe hears the thud in her room and looks around to find Henry, who had gotten in before the alarm went off. Henry tells Zoe that he wants to talk to Zoe's dad about how they are together. James can't kick him out of the house right now, so he thinks this is the best time to talk to her father. Everyone in the house takes it easy while Charlie plays with his robot Timmy. He moves Timmy around the house and watches everything through Timmy's camera. He tells Timmy to go to the study room and then watches the security footage. He sees a man running away from someone and he goes up to their house and stands in front of it. Charlie runs over to the surveillance camera and sees a man outside their house asking for help. In order to help him, Charlie disarms the metal door. At the same time, Henry goes to James's room to talk to him. James runs to the study room and quickly puts the metal doors back down when he sees that Charlie has taken the door's alarm off. But the man does get in. James, Mary, Charlie, and the men are in the room when all of a sudden, Henry shoots at James from the stairs. So he can be with Zoe, he wants to kill James. Both of them shoot at each other, and Henry is hit. When Zoe sees what's happening, she saves Henry and takes him away. When James looks around, he sees that the strange man is also gone. James puts his family in a safe room and goes to look for Zoe to make sure they are safe. Henry's dead body is in the room when he comes in. As James checks Henry's pulse, the stranger is standing right behind him, but James doesn't see him. Charlie looks at the camera and sees that a group of people are coming up to their house. He calls his parents. The group is wearing masks and holding weapons. The leader of the group walks right up to the camera and starts to talk. He knows James's name and tells the family that they missed one of their goals. The neighbor told the group that the person they were after had run into their house. Now, the group is trying to find the target so they can kill him. They have threatened to break into the house and kill everyone if the family doesn't send him away in time. Then, the group cuts off the power to the house and everything goes dark. James tells the family that they need to find the man and force him outside, but Charlie doesn't like the idea. James and Mary leave to find him, with Timmy's help. Charlie also looks for him and finds him hiding behind the couch in the living room. Charlie is trying to help the man by flashing Timmy's light at him and making him follow it. He takes him to his room, where he is hiding in the closet. Timmy shines his flashlight at where the man is hiding, and the man sees it. After he thanks Timmy, he finally goes inside. Then the leader of the Purgers tells James to come to the front door. James tells him that they are not trying to save the stranger. The leader then shoots one of his own men to scare James, saying that the group's tools to break down the door are on the way. James goes back to look for the stranger because he worries about the safety of his family. He goes into Charlie's room and finds the stranger with a gun to Zoe's head. Mary comes up behind him as he yells at James. James and the man fight, and James shoots the man by accident. The man is then tied to a chair by him and Mary. The man starts to fight back though. James tells Mary to pick at the stranger's wound so he will stop fighting. Charlie is horrified by everything he sees. They get ready to give him to the gang, but then they realize that it would not help them. The stranger also tells James that he can save his family if he goes outside. James sees that they are wrong and tells Mary that they will have to fight back and protect themselves. The Purger's tools to open the doors and windows show up at that moment. They put huge chains on the doors and pull on them until they finally get in. Charlie gets a gun from James, who tells him to hide in the basement. In a hurry, he does not remember to untie the stranger and gets ready to fight. Zoe goes into her room and hides while the stranger tries to get away. Now, the Purgers are beginning to come in. One of them opens the main door for the leader, who walks in with his gun. As they hide around the house, a Purger gets in through the basement door and attacks Charlie. James shoots the man from behind as he is about to kill him. The group runs around the house like crazy people. James fights with them and kills most of them, but their leader shows up and stabs him. As James lies dying on the ground, the leader thanks him politely and kisses his head. The rest of the people start to break everything in the house. Charlie is in the study room watching surveillance footage when he sees two people come up to the Purgers in their front yard and kill them. He notices that Grace and her husband live next door to them. Slowly, all of the Sandings' neighbors come to help. But at the same time, two of the Purgers catch Mary. As Mary begs for her life, the girl Purger tickles her. Just as she is about to hit Mary with the machete, their neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Halverson, shoot them both dead. Mary goes to help James. But before they could do anything, the boss walked in. He puts his gun to bed and thanks them for what they did. Zoe shows up out of nowhere and kills the man before he can kill them. When the neighbors come, James's family is sitting around him and crying as he dies. Mary thanks them for their help, but it turns out that the neighbors want to kill the Sandings themselves. They want James's money and want to kill his family to get rid of their jealousy. Then, they drag James's body to the other room and take the others hostage. Mary begs them to leave her kids alone, so they put duct tape around all three of them. The neighbors then put their hands together and thank the new founding fathers for giving them this chance. They have always been jealous of Sandings' perfect family, so when the Purgers broke into the house today, they saw their chance. The stranger saves the family just as they are about to hurt them. He kills Mr. Halverson by shooting him, and he points a gun at Grace. Now their neighbors are lined up in front of them. Grace asks Mary to kill them to stop this, but Mary has had enough of killing people. She tells everyone to stay there until 7 p.m., which is when the purge will end. After a few minutes, everyone is sitting together at the table, not talking. Still, the stranger points his gun at the neighbors to keep them under control. Charlie and Zoe cry while holding hands with their father. Grace suddenly tries to take the gun away from Mary, but Mary breaks Grace's nose and yells at her. Finally, the sirens start to sound, which means that the purge is over. Mary tells everyone to leave their house. In the end, the stranger also leaves after Mary thanks him for helping. At the end of the movie, the three family members who are still alive look at the dead bodies that are lying outside the house. A voice in the background says that this purge was the best one so far. Other news reporters say that there are a lot of dead bodies on the streets of Los Angeles and that the stock market is at its highest points. In the end, a man says that he's no longer proud to be an American because both of his sons died in the purge. So guys, that's it for today. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more movie recaps. Also, comment your favorite movie name you'd like to get explanation on.